Crikey, mate. Let's talk about two of the most incredible snakes you'll ever find out in the wild. We're diving into the world of cobras and kraits, two absolute legends of the reptile kingdom. These aren't your average garden snakes, that's for sure. They are some of the most venomous critters on the planet, and they demand our respect. But don't you worry, understanding these animals is the first step to appreciating just how magnificent they truly are. They play a vital role in their ecosystems, keeping rodent populations in check and maintaining a beautiful natural balance. What a couple of superstars. Now, when people think of a venomous snake, the first image that often pops into their head is the mighty cobra. With its famous hood and that classic upright posture, it's a real showstopper. The king cobra especially is a true monarch, the longest venomous snake in the world. But hiding in the shadows is another contender, the krait. These snakes are often more mysterious, slipping through the night like a whisper. They might not be as famous as their cobra cousins, but believe me, they are just as fascinating and, in some ways, even more dangerous. It's a classic tale of the bold and the beautiful versus the silent and secretive. Both these families of snakes belong to the elapid family, which means they have short, fixed fangs right at the front of their mouths. This is different from vipers, which have long, hinged fangs that fold back. When a cobra or a krait bites, it's more like a quick chew to deliver their potent venom. It's an incredibly efficient system that has been perfected over millions of years of evolution. Seeing this in action is a reminder of the sheer power and beauty of nature. We're going to explore what makes each of these snakes so unique, from the way they look to the way they hunt. Understanding these animals isn't about fear, it's about education and respect. The more we learn about cobras and kraits, the better we can coexist with them. They don't go looking for trouble, and most encounters happen by accident. So let's get a closer look at these slithery wonders. We'll check out their differences, their incredible abilities, and even imagine what would happen if these two champions ever came face to face in a battle for survival. It's going to be a wild ride, so hang on tight, you little beauty. Right then, let's get a good look at these fellas. A king cobra is an absolute giant. It can grow up to 18 feet long, which is longer than a car. When it feels threatened, it stands tall, flaring out that magnificent hood to make itself look even bigger and more intimidating. It's a warning that says, "Hey mate, back off." Its scales are usually an olive green or tan color, with faint bands along its body. The common krait, on the other hand, is a much smaller and sleeker snake. It usually only grows to about 3 or 4 feet long, so it's a tiny little tacker compared to the king. The krait's appearance is stunning in its own way. The common krait has a glossy black or bluish-black body, with thin white bands that go all the way across. It has a very different look from the earthy tones of the king cobra. The krait's scales are incredibly smooth, and it has a distinct ridge running down its spine, which gives its body a slightly triangular shape if you look at it in a cross-section. It doesn't have a hood to flare out like a cobra. Instead, its defense is to be secretive and avoid being seen in the first place, relying on its camouflage in the dark. Their daily routines are as different as night and day, literally. King cobras are diurnal, which means they are most active during the daytime. You'll find them cruising through the forests and jungles, hunting for their favorite meal, other snakes. That's right, the king cobra is a snake eater. It uses the daylight to its advantage, spotting its prey and using its incredible size and power to overwhelm it. It's a daytime warrior, soaking up the sun and ruling its territory with an iron fist, or should I say, a venomous bite. The krait, however, is a creature of the night. It's nocturnal, so when the sun goes down, the krait comes out to play. It slithers silently through fields, farmlands, and even near human homes, hunting for rodents, lizards, and other small snakes under the cover of darkness. This is why encounters with kraits can be so dangerous. People might accidentally step on one while walking outside at night without a light. The krait is a master of stealth, a silent hunter that uses the shadows as its greatest weapon. What a clever little animal. Now for the serious stuff, the venom. This is the secret weapon for both these snakes, but they use it in slightly different ways. Both the cobra and the krait have venom that is primarily neurotoxic. What that means is that it attacks the nervous system. Think of your nervous system as the body's electrical wiring. It sends signals from your brain to your muscles, telling them to do things like breathe and move. A neurotoxin messes with that wiring, causing all sorts of trouble. It's an incredibly powerful and fast-acting tool for subduing prey. The king cobra's venom is potent, no doubt about it, but its real advantage is the sheer quantity it can inject in a single bite. A big king cobra can deliver a massive dose, enough to take down a fully grown elephant. The venom works by blocking the signals between nerves and muscles, which leads to paralysis. The first signs are often blurry vision, slurred speech, and then, dangerously, paralysis of the diaphragm. This is the muscle that controls breathing, and if it stops working, you're in a world of trouble. It's a terrifyingly efficient system. But here's the kicker. Drop for drop, the common Krait's venom is way more powerful than the king cobra's. It is considered one of the most potent snake venoms in all of Asia. A tiny amount of Krait venom can be lethal. Its neurotoxins are incredibly fast-acting and specifically designed to shut down the victim's nervous system with terrifying speed. Because Kraits are nocturnal, their bite often occurs when a person is sleeping. The bite itself is often painless, so the victim might not even know they've been bitten until the deadly symptoms start to appear. This makes the Krait exceptionally dangerous. While the cobra gives you a big scary warning with its hood and its hiss, the Krait is a silent assassin. It doesn't want a big confrontation. It just wants to bite and go. The power of its venom means it doesn't need to hang on. One quick nip is all it takes to deliver a fatal dose. So, while the king cobra is the biggest and delivers the most venom, the little Krait packs a much more powerful punch in a much smaller package. What a paradox. All right, let's imagine the main event. In one corner, we have the undisputed monarch, the massive king cobra. In the other, the silent shadow, the common Krait. If these two were to face off in the wild, it would be an absolutely incredible sight. The king cobra, being a snake eater, would likely see the Krait as a potential meal. It would immediately go into its classic threat display, rising up, flaring its hood, and trying to intimidate the smaller snake. It's a display of pure power and dominance, a warning of what's to come. The Krait, however, is not a fighter by nature. Its first instinct when faced with a predator, especially one as big as a king cobra, would be to hide or flee. It would likely coil up into a tight ball, tucking its head underneath its body for protection. It doesn't have the size or the aggressive display of the cobra. It relies on being overlooked. But if the cobra presses the attack and forces a confrontation, the Krait will have no choice but to defend itself. It would lash out with a lightning-fast bite, trying to land its deadly venom. So who would win this epic battle? My money, 9 times out of 10, would be on the king cobra. Its sheer size and strength are a massive advantage. It could pin the Krait down and deliver a bite with its powerful jaws. Also, king cobras have a partial immunity to the venom of other snakes, including other elapids like the Krait. This means that even if the Krait managed to land a bite, the cobra might be able to shake off the effects of the venom, or at least survive long enough to finish the fight. In the end, the king cobra's status as a specialized snake eater gives it the ultimate edge. It is built for this exact kind of fight. While the Krait's venom is more potent, the king cobra's resistance, combined with its overwhelming size, power, and aggressive nature, makes it the likely victor. The Krait's best chance is to never be seen at all. It just goes to show you that in nature, it's not always about having the deadliest weapon, but about having the right tools for the job. Both are beautiful, magnificent creatures, true kings in their own right.